Good point. Good point. Yeah, I think I wanted to bring that up today too, whether or not we should record these meetings. But figuring out if we want to do a seminar or two this semester. And if we do want to do that, who would we invite?
Yeah.
I have a few people in mind, maybe, but I think it would be a good idea to maybe at least have one, if not two. And then I think maybe we can discuss the report or the stuff on surprise, kind of whatever we want to discuss. I think maybe the WhatsApp picture thing too, if we want, or the name. I think the name is still just like an ongoing mystery for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty good generally. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah. So I want to give a few news to what's going on with the group. So first, there is this conference in Düsseldorf that Christian is organizing about Prolog, the programming language for logical, let's say, reasoning. So I will participate there, and we will meet up, and we will also advance on the collaborations we can make with Chile. We haven't worked out yet collaborations with the VUB, but that's gonna be next. Because with Chile it's a little bit more complicated, or like a first try. And then after that, I will be going to California to the Noosphere conference. So I want to show you this because this is really it's like the biggest thing happening now. Um, I want you to take a look to this. I will paste the text here in the chat, the website, and it will bring together many kind of relevant, important scientists in the noosphere domain, which is an intersection between, let's say, biological evolution and AI. So somewhere in between, with a lot of philosophy and theology kind of oriented. And I will be going with Olaf Witkowski, the president of the Artificial Life Society, and researcher friend and so on, and Stefan, the thesis supervisor floor, together with me. And we will be talking about the future of values and goals in the next, or how could be the next generation of AI systems, trying to target the notion of value and goals, not directly from or necessarily from a fitness function, but from a more general perspective. So, or make the fitness function emergent from the behavior of the system or from certain human values, and not just trying to optimize a target solution, or a kind of optimal way of solving a problem. So this is related to Floor's research. So maybe she should talk before the begin. Maybe, yeah, I will push her to talk about this in our student meeting, so she can practice a little bit her discourse. And yeah, so that means that we will be participating in a big conference. um, yeah, and that, I don't know how good the networking will go, but we will see. And then after that, I will be visiting the University of California, Davis. So like right after the conference, which is like very close from Berkeley in California. And then I will be meeting with the systems ecology group. So a group that works on ecological systems, and they do network models. So I will show like a little bit about chemical organization theory and our approach to complex adaptive systems. So that's a little bit on the networking side for the next 2-3 weeks. I will be on that. Second, I started contacts with the Utopia. Matthew knows about this. and they will be going slow because they are super busy, and it's a sort of bureaucratic thing. But there might be some steps forward to start collaborating with other universities as well. So that would be really good. Um, and in this same side, I just uploaded a course that I recorded last year at the beginning of this year about interdisciplinary complex science. It's an introduction to interdisciplinary complex science. So I uploaded one of the modules in the systemic modeling YouTube channel, but there are many more hours of seminars, of classes, let's say, and I upload them all now to the VUB system. So I will try. I'm asking so they can allow access, open access. So at least people inscribed in the VUB will be able to check the course. And if not, I will manage to give access to the videos somehow because it's super heavy. This is in a cloud, at the VUB cloud. I couldn't, I tried to download these things, but it's just too heavy. So maybe I could put the stuff on YouTube in a private way. I don't know. I'll think about it, but this course is really interesting. If you allow me to share screen, I can show you a little bit of how it looks because it's yeah, I think it's relevant for you guys to know about this. Panopto, okay, share. You can see this, my screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
So so basically, the system is not very clear here because this is the teacher view. So that, yeah, module deepening, module one, introduction. Here there it is. So you see, Panopto, there are um, four modules: introduction to complex adaptive systems, knowledge and interdisciplinarity, then deepening on the science of complex adaptive systems, and then examples of interdisciplinary complex sciences. So each module is like in between 1 and 2 hours. So this is 1.5, this is 1.5, this is two, and this is one. So it's a little bit about more or less like around 6 hours of lectures, all divided in modules like 9 minutes, 9 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 5 minutes. So you can see that there are like each module has uh, a bunch of videos. And I'm about to create now all the quizzes, um, the homework, and how to call this, like the test,
Mm.
like essay. You have to write an essay, you have to do this and that. So I will prepare all the material, and this course will be available for you guys to take it, especially the VUB students. um, and that will give you maybe a couple of credits. So this will be good for everyone coming to the group to take it, especially new students and so on. That's what I made it for.
Mm.
So yeah, that will be on my side. This is my update.
Yeah, nice. That's a lot of stuff. Very cool.
Mm.
Um, yeah, does everyone else just want to do a quick check-in as far as like how you're feeling and stuff? And
I think, Emmanuel, you were like absent for a while and have some news you left in the email at least.
mm,
Yes, guys. Hi, Thomas. Yes, some months. And hi, Matt. Hi, Fabrizio. Everybody else. Um Interesting little modules, Thomas. When I will have
mm,
the opportunity to dive in, I will do. Yes, let's say in the last couple of months, I've been focusing on a few other things. But at the same time, some lucidity on what I want to do for the research. And it comes with a specific, let's say, approach I'm going to find, let's say, a specific way to approach the research I want to do, and this is going to happen through two associations. We'll establish with my partner, one based in Brussels, which will support art and science advocacy at European level, making bridges between art, science, and social and people issues. And another one in Namur, where I lived for 7 years, which will be testing and developing education and artistic, let's say, products, or let's say, content in a context which is a Fab Lab kind of approach. Um, yeah, to do some art and to do some good stuff. So this is something that I wanted to share, but okay, just now, just the beginning of it. So in that respect, it's a good news for me, because it's something that I understand was in my back and a bit holding me back on focusing more on what I want to achieve with the research. So voila. And at the same time, I did a lot for something which I will wait now for results, and voila, when they will come, to get some high level of responsibility and salary inside the institutions, which will allow me to be more flexible for doing research if I get it. So little effort that I did in the last couple of months. I wanted to say to Matt that I found a way how he's steering the SYMP narrative of the, let's say, meeting by meeting and the organization in an excellent way. Really encouraged to continue. So I don't know if this is really your lead and your way of doing that, or it comes with participation from other researchers, students, and maybe voila, Thomas Inns. But Thomas, I think that the direction you wanted to give to the group some months ago when was starting back, I think it's on the way, right?
Actually, there will at some point we will have to discuss about how to run the group, because the idea is that no one takes a specific overburden, and it was me in the beginning that was taking most of the duties and so on, and then I started giving some tasks to others, and now Matt has nicely taken the responsibility of keeping this, but it shouldn't be all on him forever. So at some point I would like that the direction or the steering, as you say, rotates, so we kind of all learn this to what is to be leading the group,
Mm-hmm.
and no one. So in this way, it will be more horizontal in the long run. But it's nothing like urgent, and we are kind of kicking in again with the group. Um, so, is there anybody else willing to say something? I'm particularly curious about what Lyubov has been doing the last months, because we haven't touched base um, recently.
Yes.
It will be great. How have you been?
Yeah, thanks, Thomas, and thanks so much for organizing this. Well, I'm working mostly on finishing actually papers on science and innovation analysis we were working on with Mark, because we finally got reviewers back, and so it's a lot about working with different justification of embeddings. So it's kind of what we call explainable AI. So
Ah,
that was actually the main topic, what I have been doing. And now I'm in Germany. That's why I'm actually without my camera, because I was also at the conference here, but I'm coming back to Paris and to, yeah. to be there on site, basically, with Mark, because we have mostly now focused on this topic, and we're working with social scientists as well, who are able to assess the quality of these embedding methods. I can send you the publication which we are now working on. Maybe that would be the easiest, because we already have the first preprint and we are redoing it right now. So that's yeah. And so yeah, I was not there, but I was following what you were doing, and it was really exciting to always to reconnect. Yeah.
Yeah, and will there be a chance? I don't know, because if you're in a conference, maybe you already have some slides, and maybe you could give us a little talk if you have the slides. If not, we can.
Well, I think yeah, sure. I mean, I think that the best almost would be that our postdoc with whom we
Ah, okay.
work maybe could present, for example, because I mean, I'm working on this already like for 3 years, but I don't want to say that it's a common job, it's common work, right? So I would be happy to give a floor also to other people involved into that, and yeah, I can ask. Okay, so maybe
Yeah, that will be great. And
I can start maybe first with just sending the publication, because we have like a lot of things to do there first to make it better, to
yeah.
make it really something something kind of tangible, because right now yeah it's in progress.
Hmm.
Uh, yes, so yeah, I would be happy to do that. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, I will send the first publication, and then we will see when we are done with reviews.
Yeah, excellent.
Cool.
And also back to the seminars, Matthew. I was just coming to remember that there is one seminar, upcoming CLEA seminar. So let me, CLEA, I will get the link in the meantime. So there are a couple of seminars, if not at least one, maybe more than one, that are kind of relevant to the group. It was no, Fabricio. Ah, no, he's gone. I think he was here. Federico. No,
Mm.
Federico's not coming. So we got the possibility for Federico to give a seminar.
Yeah, yeah.
He gave a seminar already to the to Clea,
Hmm.
but we were thinking about something more specific. But there is this seminar the 1st of December, um, by Anne Diepel, and
Hmm.
I invited her, but then it became a Clea seminar because she's a very nice researcher, but it's super aligned to what we do. So it's more like about systemic modeling stuff than main Clea stuff. But yeah, she became like a Clea seminar. So we
Hmm.
can we should participate on this all together.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then for the other seminars, I always like the idea that we start with a short seminar, like 15 minutes, not every week, but at least once a month. We start with a short seminar by someone. It could be among us, or it could be someone external that we want to hear, and we invite him or her. So we kind of can get something new, every week, get some new ideas, fresh ideas. So it
Hmm.
will be good maybe that we collectively start a sort of Excel or something, saying like who are the people that we would like to bring and who are the people that we can bring, you know
Hmm.
sometimes we say, okay, I want to bring, I don't know, Harari or Chomsky, and that's not possible. Maybe it is. Maybe, someone knows Chomsky and can bring it to the meeting. Maybe not. But so we can play around with what we want and what we can, and kind of maintain a list of potential speakers always active, which will require, of course, some coordination, will require someone in charge of it, which will not have to be Matthew again. It should have to be someone else. So that's how the roles and the functioning of the group starts acquiring tasks. You know, So it will be good to have this thing running once a month, a seminar, a SYMP seminar by someone that we like or we can bring. Okay. And for the topic, also we did the website. Gabriel did the website actually. So thanks to Gabriel. Whoever is here today is part of the group and is not yet on our website, it should first send some of the material to Gabriel, because we have a list, a website with the students. So I don't know. Did you all check this thing out? Who hasn't checked this out yet? Hmm?
I've checked it out.
Yeah,
I think it's the updated information for
yeah.
the people that are involved. I think, right?
But is there is a new one, or
I think it's yeah. I
because
think it's
because I
It's
remember that I check. Ah, okay.
if you go to this to the website, then you will find the students, and there is a button saying click here for the detailed students descriptions. And I got the info, the info of all students that submit the information that was requested on the chat. I think Daniela, you aren't there, but you are in the chat, I guess. Yes.
Yes.
So
Sorry,
so
I
you
am going to send the info.
you have to send that information. It's I'm checking now on the chat because it's way up. This happened like already like a month ago. So wow. Yeah, you can look up. It's there is a request for specific like picture. Well, it's on the same template. You can see the template on the website. And Emmanuel, if you want to be on the website, figuring or mentioned as a student, you can also send your description, and I should add Lyubov as well as one of the senior researchers in the group. Yeah,
Okay, Thomas.
but Emmanuel is not on the chat as far as I know. No, because we have a chat. I will add you. But I don't have your chat. I don't have your WhatsApp neither. Can you send me your WhatsApp number so I add you to the students group, please? Internally, I can do this after. Okay, so that was it. Yeah, now we have to decide about well, someone else, maybe someone, if someone else has news to bring in. No. Okay. So we have to put things onto the YouTube channel and recording meetings presentations. Can you give the introduction to this? Maybe Matthew or Gabriel, because you both know about this.
probably Gabriel. Gabriel, you probably know a little more than me if you want to go over that.
Sorry, what is the question?
The
For
question
uploading
is
the YouTube.
the third topic on the list today is to discuss whether we will add the videos to our YouTube channel, and if we will keep recording the meetings and presentations or not. So maybe you can give some background to what has been done and so on, so we can kind of decide.
Ah, yes. In the past, we recorded all the meetings and we saved in the drive folders or the sim um, the sim Gmail
Mm.
group, and I'm download it for upload to the YouTube channel. in this time, but it's a lot of information. I do that these days. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, but then what's the concern, Matthew? You think that we might not do it?
I put it in there just because I guess we used to do it, but we don't do it anymore. And I just think it might be a good idea to record meetings, or somebody had mentioned that it might be a good idea to record meetings. So I just wanted to see what the plan was for recording things and putting it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I always thought that it's a very good idea to keep these things, the recordings, and then use the automated transcripts so we can have summaries of the meetings and kind of have like a lot of material. Because when later on, if we want to justify that we are a group, that we need funding or whatever like that, we can put all those terabytes of information and say, look, there has been like dozens and hundreds of hours that we have met. We have like tens of seminars. It's all recorded. We have memos of everything. This is the book with all the transcripts of all the meetings. So that makes reasonable that we get funding. If not, they will say, yeah, but who? Because you are in the CLEA, the other guy is here. The other, how do you prove that you guys meet? How do you prove that you have done something? You don't have any publications. You don't have, like we don't have like the typical traditional outcomes that prove scientific work. So we have to work on that, I think.
Yeah,
And that's one way in which we can get closer, at least.
Mhm. So Gabriel, you're fine with um, recording meetings and uploading them to YouTube? Did I understand that correctly?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Okay,
can
cool,
be in charge to that,
cool.
and
Yeah.
I have
Now the
a
thing
lot
is,
of records that in my PC.
yeah. Now the thing is that if we upload these things, we have to be very careful with the information that's there,
Yeah,
because sometimes we speak like very, very kind of personal things, and so it's
yeah.
there is a little bit of risk.
I remember we decided not upload it because one meeting we discussed very complicated things, so that we decided that. But
Hmm.
we can structure a little bit what we can record and do that. I don't know.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one part of the meeting of I don't. It's an idea.
Yeah. To
But
me,
what? I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
I'm sorry. But what is the purpose specifically? Because I don't know. Maybe we can upload the videos, but only for us, like in a private session or something like that. And maybe if we apply for some specific funding, maybe in that moment we can change the specification. I don't know if it's possible to do that, or
Yeah. There is this. You
because I,
can
I
unlist the videos, so videos
mm,
can be
because
unlisted.
I think that the
You can
main
have a
purpose
list.
is to have the chance for us to keep the meetings there in YouTube, because it's easy to remember something, and but also for fundings, but that is not something that we are going to use every day, you know. So maybe in a specific moment we can share some specific videos, or I don't know. Because in other way is if always we are constantly thinking that we cannot speak about something, or maybe sometimes it's necessary to speak about something personal. I don't know. Eh, um, Maybe we can decide after which kind of video we can share, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my opinion is that I totally hear that. I don't think we need to overcomplicate it though. I mean, I don't think. I mean, in my experience, I don't think we really talk about like deeply personal
Yes,
stuff. Like, you know, it's like I think we can just have a normal meeting and upload it to our YouTube, and I think that solves the problem pretty straightforwardly. Yeah, I don't think there's really a need to, yeah, I don't think it's that complicated. So I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. Okay. um,
Yeah, so we can stick to just upload the stuff, and because I also think that people will never watch it, for real.
yeah. Hmm.
But it's good to have it because we can go back to it. We are the most interested in it, not or maybe some, I don't know, someone in the future that wants to come to the group and wants to check what we discussed before, maybe a PhD student or someone. But what I care the most about is the transcriptions, the automated transcriptions made by like the one I made for the artificial. Well, I didn't make it. I don't know who made it, but I got it automatic. I got an automated transcription by Zoom, summarized by GPT, and it was, yeah, like amazing. So this is really good because we can keep what's important, the opinions of everyone's opinions, and yeah, that's something we should definitely do. But can we record and transcripts, get transcripts and GPT, like GPT them from here, Gabriel? I think you checked on that at some point.
I check it, but I don't get it yet. In
Because on
the
my Zoom now, with the updated Zoom account I have, I can do it. So
Yeah.
maybe we could get back to the Zoom meeting and get the transcripts automated from there from now on. Yeah. Okay. So maybe we can just let that as a advance. Yeah. So I can add this. Yeah. 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 Okay. So now we can go to the follow up on the artificial intuition conference. So maybe that's on you, Matt. No.
Yeah, if we, I don't know what people's capacity is to check this out if they want. I think it might be a good idea to, as you mentioned, Tomas, to do a report on it. And it's in a bit of a rough draft form, so yeah, I'll just say that. And I mentioned this Tuesday, but I think the one section that I don't really understand too well is Katarina's section. So if anyone feels inclined to check that out, go for it because, well, I guess it deals with this idea of negation as well, which we discussed on Tuesday in the student group. Um, and I'm not too familiar with that, so that's kind of what it looks like now. Maybe in the week I can kind of brush it up a little bit, and if anyone else wants to make some comments or edits, I think Lyubov, you made a few, so appreciate that. And yeah, just maybe within like 2 weeks or something. If we want, I don't want to set like a hard deadline, but maybe if we just want to get that wrapped up soon, that might be a good idea. And I think it would also just be nice to send it to the whole kind of Klea community as well, so everyone kind of has a sense of what happened. And I think it would also encourage a second conference like that to happen, like a follow-up conference, like a mini conference. I think it could totally help with that. So yeah, maybe within like 2 weeks, if we can get that done and send it to the Klea community broadly, um, and whoever else might be interested, I think that would be cool, or that would be nice.
Yeah, I agree that we should prepare this report and then share it with the CLEA community. That's definitely, especially with the art science people, that they are a big community. I'm part of a chat with like 70 people, so I guess they will like maybe to hear about this, or we could even make a short video kind of summarizing what happened and what we thought, what we get out of it. Um, so we can have this report, and together with a short, again, we can use GPT to summarize the summary and make a 1 minute video summarizing that and inviting people to. So that's what I mean. Like, we should use the power of these amazing summaries. That I found a tool where you can make a face to read with real voice and with gestures, whatever text you give to it. It's a short text, but you can pay for longer videos. And I think these kind of things can be, wow, like it's just plugging things in, and then you can make super nice, condensed, good content. So,
Mm-hmm.
but then you suggested a deadline for when?
Maybe like 2 weeks. I mean, it's up to you guys too. I mean,
Now, does anybody have an opinion on this? Yeah, then 2 weeks.
okay.
So yeah, follow up. Then we can say 2 weeks, and now we can go to surprise.
Yeah, this more of a creative thing for whoever wants to get involved. I saw Simon was on that document, so maybe it might be interesting. And I know Olga's really interested in the topic. Maybe it might be interesting if we did a week on surprise or something, or like a seminar on surprise. If as far as like figuring out different seminars go,
Yeah,
that might be a good idea. But it's really kind of more just a brainstorm. Yeah, it's nothing too. I wouldn't say there's like any need to, like, we need to get this done by this time. I think it's more just like a creative exercise. So if anyone feels like they want to check it out, definitely feel free to just put whatever in there. But it's nothing too demanding at this point.
yeah. I wonder what is the demanding research we have to do.
Yeah. Good point.
I know Fabricio has a research project, Gabriel has a research project, Flor has a research project as well. Dani also has a research project, her PhD, which is maybe a little bit unrelated to the group, but still. And also she has some other side projects that are really relevant. And Emmanuel maybe, and Matthew and Olga are a little bit like in the process of forming a research project. So, but so I think that I have the feeling that we still need to integrate the research projects in a way that we know what's in common about all of them,
Mhm.
and what are like why these projects are manifestations of something maybe more abstract, which is what makes us to be a group,
Mhm.
you know. So Fabricio gave a talk. I don't know who of you went came, but he gave a talk on Tuesday, I think, on his research. And so I wanted the student meetings to become the venue for us to exchange research, but because not everybody can make it, we have like only part of the group coming. So I'm really concerned with this idea of identity of what we are. Maybe I'm missing something, I'm overseeing something, maybe it's not important, but I have the feeling that we are a little bit too scattered in terms of artificial intuition, surprise, logistics, innovation, evolution, space, science. So we are like too much all over the place, and I don't feel yet. I don't know. But when people ask me, "What do you guys do?" I say everything. You know, it's too much. I have the feeling that we shall maybe try to converge. For this, I want to ask Lyubov if you are still there. Maybe you can help us to how do you frame your group? Because also you are in all over the place a little bit, in the good sense. I mean, if you are still there, can you please guide us, give us some light?
I'm here, but as I said, that this time is very difficult for me, 4 p.m., because I have to be in another place and later on, so I have to be in the road. So I don't think you can hear me.
No, not really.
Not really. Okay. Well, let me just write to you. But if, as I said to you, Thomas, that at 4 p.m. I'm always not usually available. But yeah, let me write to you. Okay.
So, um, did she say she will?
I think so. I
Oh,
just
cool. Yeah.
my Wi-Fi went out and I was gone for like 2 minutes, but I think so.
So yeah. So we got because we have so many topics to discuss, like cognition, categorization, systems, and resilience, and like I now feel that we have so many topics, all of them interesting. But if we, I mean, I don't know, maybe we should make a voting or something like a collective effort to decide on something specific to work. So we have a core that is
Mhm.
our core research, our core discussion, maybe, or core concepts. And then we have some other part, which is like the background you know, so that we can explore other things, other ideas, invite people, and so on. But we have a specific, let's say, research program
Mm.
that
Mhm.
unites what we are as a group.
Mhm.
Maybe we don't need it, but I just have the feeling that we need it. So I want to hear everyone's opinions on this, if
Mm.
possible. Please go ahead.
I go ahead. Okay. Um, in my opinion, yes, actually, also being, let's say, new and now coming back or following not closely, and as a new, let's say, guy who is approaching research and approaching the experience of group sharing about research, I found that many interesting inputs coming from reflections on theory or on reflections. At the same time, it would be very nice to feel converging into a common point of that interlinkage to research questions that each of us might have. Um, could be that a place, price, um, art science, and impact to society. Um, or to current challenges for people or for society. Okay, there are a few things I am interested in my research and that I see that could be a point of focus, or in any case that I see commonality of interest or um, well, I'll say synergy, no, in the questioning of the group, what the group is looking at, rhythm and spirituality, the role of spirituality in today's society. Um, there are a few things that I'm interested in and that I know that other of us are also interested in. So could be voila, interesting to talk about that and to see whether there is a convergence that can emerge. You know, as we say.
Yeah, maybe I'll just say real quick. I agree. I think one of the things, I think there's a lot of things that we could probably converge on. I think what makes sense for me at this point is to send out a Google form, which could say like, what is your research? I guess in like a professional way, or like what's like your research project at this time, and also like what are so question one, what's like your kind of more professional research? Question two, what are some of the things that you're interested in or would like, or yeah, I guess are interested in? And three, what might be like the overall research strategy or focus of the group? And I think that, what do you guys think about sending out a sheet like that to everyone who might fill it out?
Make yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
I like these things, but at the same time, they can be time consuming. So the design of the form has to be such that people will fill it. Because sometimes one wants to ask everything like, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And then nobody will fill it out. So what were the questions? Can you repeat again the questions? Just
I mean, I agree that it has to be short, but I think it's pretty straightforward. Just what's your research? What are some of the things you're interested in, or would like to speak about, or explore more, I guess. And then, what do you think might be an overall research focus of the SYMP group, or whatever else we might call it? Yeah. So just those three questions, basically.
but
Other than your name and
yeah,
maybe.
yeah. No, no, no. But understand. But this can be very. Let's say, for example, I know a few people that have many, many interests,
Mhm.
super diverging, different interests.
Mhm.
So, so then it's not so easy to integrate that. I mean, I'm just foreseeing the situation. Maybe I'm wrong, and it will be easy. But what if? Um,
So yeah, and yeah, makes sense too. At the same time, IDERIA is a platform which can be based um, on exploring different interests, and then converging in some on in terms of specific articles, publications, or research projects. In that respect, might not maybe be needed a convergence as such for SYMP,
yeah,
um,
Mhm.
but rather just understanding the line of activities or outcome from the group. Also, because you have PhD students which are different in a different life or professional situation, having a different approach to that, or people who are established researchers which have another approach into or another level of no, need or availability or objectives.
Mhm.
So you have different degrees of interest
Mhm.
too. So far it's fine. I mean,
Mhm.
so far, so from what I saw, uh, if it emerges a specific, maybe it takes time. that there is a specific thing emerging. And may I ask also one thing? There are convergences that I saw with, well, I couldn't participate. I didn't participate to the second symposium system at play. How do you see in that respect?
There is something to clarify here. I will be very brief because this is only to matters to you, Emmanuel. Systemic modeling and art science group are completely different initiatives. So nobody from the systemic modeling group participated in the systems at play conference. I went because I'm from CLEA,
Okay.
but these things run separately, and they have like different interests. So what happens in the of course we can always interact and participate and so on, but it's exactly that kind of effort the one I want to make because we can be everything, but we have to not be something as well. Right? But in order to have an identity, you have to not be something. You can just be this and be that and be that and be that. And we are very multifaceted researchers, all of us, most of us at least. We have really broad interest. We like everything. We do many things. So my concern here is that when I try to introduce the group to kind of authorities to make, for example, now CLEA is merging with the Center of Logic and Philosophy of Science. You know that everybody knows this already.
Yeah.
And I was meeting with Karen Francois, the new director of CLEA, who was the director of the Center for Logic and Philosophy of Science, who is also the director of the doctoral school of the VUB. So she's like the boss of everything that goes around PhDs. And she is also a very high placed person in the Flanders educational and research communities. So I was meeting her for the first time and I was telling her that I have a research group, and I wasn't able to put together like what we are, you know. It's like a bunch of students with radically different interests, and they all want to do different things, and they are all very smart and all very motivated and all, but yeah, but what do you guys do? So no, the thing is that I'm an interdisciplinary researcher, so this is why blah blah blah, you know. But still, it's like a very shallow discourse, and I want to not be the be kind of like representing a shallow initiative, you know.
Yeah,
So
but at the same
I don't
time,
think we are. I don't think we are shallow. We all go deep into stuff, but when you
yeah,
have to say what we do, I think we need
yeah,
that
but
kind
might be a question of how to say of organizational context. The kind of approach that you steer and you voila we share in the group is something which is not very much ordinary in the classic university research, at least in what we know in Europe. So the point is, and I think once we talk about that, there could be another structural organization that could access funds not only from a university, which could support this kind of research convergence that would be complementary to university academy and research, because people are researchers actually, and because actually they can explore linkages between university and other social actors. This is something that, for instance, uh, I'm setting with the initiative, the association that I'm gonna found. This is one thing. The other thing is, but the group started back. You don't have anything to prove yet, but you can have something to prove if we have some commitment at this moment in time of people committed to do that. If this is limited at now, it's a pity, of course. But the point is that there is a way, there are possibilities to look at that from another angle. The name system modeling, you have something which is common for the group from the start, as you said. So
Mhm.
even if art and science comes into here sometimes, it's always from the perspective of system modeling more
Mhm.
than I don't know, impact. Impact. I don't know. Me, I'm interested in impact to society, to policy, and to cultural heritage. For instance, philosophy. Maybe this is not something that is priority for us here. Um, Voila! But you have system modeling as a main word. Don't we have system modeling as a convergence point?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It's a it's a common point, but it's like it's so abstract. System modeling, it's so abstract that it's like we are like humans research human researchers group. We are not dogs, we are humans, and we do research, so we are the human researchers group. Like I would like it to be a little bit less broad than
Mm.
that. Not maybe I'm wrong, but I have the feeling that it's like not having please, Danny, please.
Okay. But maybe if you want to share more ideas, you can continue. It's not
No, please go
okay.
ahead. Yeah.
Um, no, I think that this is a very important. This is a very important point for the group, but also it's very difficult to define. Obviously, that is because we're speaking about it now. But I think that, for example, your experience, and you say something that is very important, that we are here because the modeling, the systemic modeling, but also because the interdisciplinary, because the interdiscipline. So my question, because I am not sure, I don't know exactly, and maybe you know a little bit about this, but do you know, Thomas, or somebody knows, if there are validated activities to create
What?
um
I think you were cut it.
okay, I don't know if there are in interdisciplinary groups, or in groups that they are in the level that we are now, forming groups, if there are some validated activities to generate points in common, because maybe one objective of our group at the beginning is to make an activity, to design an activity, and maybe an activity could be very useful not only for us but also for other future groups. So
Hmm.
maybe an activity could be like
Yeah,
a research for us, to design
understood.
an
Yes,
activity. So I
that
don't
could
know
be.
if there are some activities like a protocol to follow and to converge in some points, or maybe we can develop something like that,
Yeah.
you know.
What do you
And
think,
in
Mark?
that way, you can say we are designing something to validate an activity to find.
Yeah, no, for sure. But we have to
Yeah,
decide to do that because we are not
yeah,
doing it,
yeah.
and that's what I mean. Like that could be a good
No,
plan,
yeah, 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 yeah.
a good step
Yeah, yeah,
forward.
yeah,
Say, okay, we don't have it, but let's go for it. Or
yeah, yeah, yeah. I am
there are
saying that.
different.
I am saying
I
that
like.
that could be an objective.
Or we can even decide to not have that structure and just be a venue
Yes.
for open ideas and so on. But depending on what we decide, it will change how we frame this, because still we belong to an institution and still we need to look for funding. So there are like lots of things that can maybe are at the level that students not won't see all the time in their daily activities, but they matter when you become a group and when you become a something functional, with a name, that it's represented by, and blah blah blah. So that's why I'm having a little bit of an issue. So go.
I guess just my perspective on this broad conversation, or this conversation in general.
Mm.
My sense, and this is just my sense, is that it's these conversations are definitely important. I would agree. I'll start by saying that. Also, I do think that this idea that I think it happens over time naturally, and I get the sense that it should be kind of maybe we should brainstorm and think about it together. Um, I think, and well, yeah, I guess just two things that I would want to emphasize here. First is that I think just doing a little more, I guess, data gathering on everyone's perspectives and interests, and considering it after we do a little more data gathering on like different levels of research, different
Mm.
research interests, all this stuff, might make the conversation a little more meaningful or clear. So that's point one. And so so that's point one. And two, I guess just as far as the entire research or kind of the whole organizational process and stuff goes, and just like the broad conversation, I think I do just want to emphasize the importance of this kind of just human element. I mean, there's one sense in which it's funny how sometimes we use like systems language to consider what we do, and maybe you might disagree with me a little bit here, but I think the important thing is kind of just being here and then seeing kind of what happens or kind of like what forms. And I think to that degree, I think just focusing on and I guess just one of the things that I would encourage or kind of emphasize is just the importance of these, or maybe even getting a little more structure in these check-ins, and like 15 minutes of just seeing how everyone is doing and maybe focusing on research a little. Maybe we can talk about updates a little bit, but I think as far as like overall direction goes, I would just emphasize those two things, that maybe it happens a little more over time, and then secondly just uh you know just this human element of just we're in a research group, but we're human beings first, and I think that's just it's a shared human space, and I think whatever that means, I guess, but I think that's just like that always is primary for me. So I just my 2 cents there, if that makes sense. I don't know if that made sense, but that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, to me, I think it makes sense. Please go, Emmanuel.
So, but talking concretely about resources, because I mean, in the frame of the university and of CLEA, this group has a lot of sense. Your experience brings that to the purpose for which you want this group to go. There is a technical obstacle to get resources for instance, a PhD with a position of researcher, PhD, and how to say, teaching assistant, let's say, so that you can support somebody that can be contributing to actually the organizational aspect of this. Because here the point is still about organization resources. This is really a managerial situation. I don't know, bottleneck. I mean, if Matt did this work like this excellently for so many months, is because he wanted to invest time. He could, and he has the competence to do it. Clear that this is not a volunteer work, and because it's work. It's not only willingness to share, to learn. It's also work that should be remunerated if it goes into something which hopefully can be impactful. This is not something we cannot consider now immediately as actually a condition, because you cannot have a not human actually setting of something like this, not considering the needs of the people involved, needs and the possibilities. So if this can lead to organizing review of topics, organizing a potential list of articles, prioritize them, and inform in an effective way about an agenda, develop a strategy for the group, develop a conference, organize meetings also in person in order to strengthen the linkages of people and so on. At this, you need resources and money actually to support the work of people that do that.
Mhm.
This you
Mhm.
cannot have this out of the blue.
Mhm. That's a good point. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is this is the issue that in order to become a functional group, we need to set up some kind of um, we need to define some goals. We have a little bit of a strategic plan. You know, we need to see where we're going. Basically, this now works and has a future because we have PhD students coming in.
Amen.
So I was thinking, how many you ask?
Mm.
Well, we for so far we have Flor, who is going to work on ethics of AI, let's say, as a general topic, values and goals in AI. We have Olga, who is going to come to work on cognitive fallacies, cognitive, yeah, like biases and AI mimicking human intelligence.
They are sponsored PhD.
Flor is sponsored. Olga is looking for sponsorship. We have Fabricio now, who is doing his dual degree. So he's part of the PhDs now at CLEA, and he's working on resilience for logistics in maritime imports. So
Mm.
it's like complex systems research, more like economic driven. And Matthew, I don't know, Matthew, can you disclose your future here?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the project I wanted to focus on is this idea of transdisciplinary research and what is meant by transdisciplinary research. And I guess maybe I'll take a moment to say that as far as like starting goes, I think it depends. I'm gonna try and go for the same funding as Olga. We had a conversation about that. But that's still in the process. You know, it could be January. I don't think it's gonna be January, but maybe September. But I definitely would like to start a PhD here. Um,
Here, you mean Belgium?
at Clea.
Ah, okay, cool.
Um,
Yeah. So we have this issue that if you want to start a PhD in CLEA, Matthew, you need to find a supervisor because
right,
Francis is going to retire in
right,
2026.
right.
So you need to find a replacement for
Mhm,
Francis when he retires. He can take the PhD sponsorship, and I could be the supervisor doing the real supervision, or you can find someone else that you're
mhm,
totally welcome to do that.
mhm,
But it's important to get that thing, and also the funding.
mhm,
Both things are relevant.
mhm,
So I was thinking that maybe we can frame what we do in terms of what our PhD students do. You know, try to
mhm,
find common grounds there, but that is kind of leaving aside everybody else that is not a PhD student. You know,
mhm, mhm,
so we are kind of like, yeah. And then I was thinking that, but then I was thinking, okay, let's try to look for a more common topic of everyone, but then what
mhm,
that topic will be, and how are we creating synergies out of
mhm,
so much divergence.
mhm,
So I want to have it. What I want to optimize is synergy in the end. That everybody in the group comes to the meetings and say, "Oh, I'm learning things. I'm getting better. I'm improving." You know. So pure reflection is okay, but that conflicts with the fact that we also have to be established group doing something and having certain outcomes from time to time.
mhm.
So how do we balance these
Um,
this tension? That's what I'm caring about. Sorry, Matthew, go ahead.
yeah.
All right, Emmanuel, did you want to say something
No,
first?
no. I say talk first. Talk.
If we're looking for an overall topic, I have an idea. I think I mentioned it kind of recently. I'd be happy to talk about it a little more. I think